Okay, reporting to you from Times Square. I love that. So this morning, I tried and learned. I tried and learned, and I want to share that with you. What I learned. All right. To give a little context to this scenario, I am on the hunt for a better paying job. But not just any better paying job, a job in my career field, which is communication, which is doing this, being on camera, talking, or being behind camera, helping someone who's on camera get the message through. That's what I'm here to do, right? And there are many different ways of doing that, many different formats. You could do it direct, you could do it entertainment, you could do it music, you could do it. I'm not gonna even go into all the ways you can do it because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is the pitching yourself to do so. And I will call this the Shooting Your Shot series because that's what it is. It's the Shooting Your Shot series. Anyway, so shooting your shot comes with some bricks sometimes, and today was a brick. I watched this girl on YouTube talk about how she got her job in the film industry. And she said that she moved to New York, she saved up, moved here, and I'm gonna walk away from the noise of the street. She moved here and she found a job by searching all the different TV shows that were currently filming and then like going to where they were filming, because if they're filming on the street, like New York is still living, so you can kind of find your way close to where they've buried it off where you can't go. So she found her way there, found the person with the clipboard or the person who was the AD's assistant and got their name to them, and so on and so on and so on. So I've been trying to do that. The first time I tried to do that, I was late for an assignment and I had gone in a totally different address, and I saw someone filming and I was trying to make some meaning of this moment of being at this totally different address, and I was like, hi, gave my pitch. They were publishers and they were not, because they were packing their stuff up. The photographer had gone to get the car or something, so they were gonna pass my information along. It was a nice, cute conversation, but that went nowhere. The second time was a magazine. It was a client being shot for a magazine. And I talked to the agent of the client who was being shot. But the person I needed to talk to was the person with the camera who worked for the magazine. It was a very popular magazine, forgot the name of it. And yeah, so I got the agent's number. He told me to message him. I messaged him. He did not message back, so that went nowhere. Today, I got to Port Authority, and outside Port Authority, there's a very popular news station who was standing out there. There were 3 guys, right? So now here I am at the meat of what I came to tell you. I'm trying to give you what I've learned, the tips I've learned from this experience and from previous experiences of pitching yourself for your pitch. 1, scope out your target, okay? So I watched them. There were like 3 men, and they seemed to be in a lighthearted way. The guy who was standing in front of the camera, guy 1, I'm gonna label them guy 1, I'm gonna name them. Guy 1, the reporter, he was practicing his whatever he was gonna say. But then he had moved to the side, and I said, bet, they're done. They're in rest mode. So then guy 2, who I feel like was the most friendly of the situation, always know who's the most friendly of the situation when you're shooting your shot. What his back was facing to me, so I'm walking up to his like back, and guy 3 was standing. He was making eye contact with me as I approached him. Always know your gatekeepers, okay? Gatekeeper guy was guy 3. who was making eye contact. So upon like stepping up, he was like basically ready to, what is it that you want? How can I get you to leave? That's the vibe I got, in a very nice way. By the way, all three of these men were African American, just for the record. So we all had that in common. So that wasn't a barrier, is basically what I'm saying. So I said to them, like, hi. I walk up to guy 3. I'm standing right next to guy 2, and I'm like, he's like, guy 3, how can I help you? And I'm like, well, I'm wanting to know if your studio if your studio has any available jobs. And he said, well, what are you looking for? And I didn't really have an answer because I didn't really think this through before I went there. I was like, well, I would love to be the reporter, but I'm a photographer, have public speaking skills. And he was like, well, do you have experience being a reporter? And I'm like, no, not really. And in my mind, I'm like, oh man, we've already gone off track, because now he's like giving me tailored advice towards being a reporter. But that was not my goal. That is what I said because I didn't have anything better to say, but I wanted a job at the company. So if you notice that the goal has been missed or the goalpost has been moved, redirect it. So I could have said something like, I don't have a lot of experience at reporting, but I would like an opportunity to work in the studio so I can get to see more behind the scenes. So do you all know if there are any positions open in your company, any open positions, or what do you guys think is a good starting point? Something along the point of that would redirect back to my main goal. Anyway, so then now they're suggesting to me like smaller studios. Both guy 3 and guy 2 are suggesting smaller studios. Guy 2 is letting guy 3 take the lead. Like, I could see in his eyes, guy 2, that he would have had more to say or been at least more open about it. But guy 3 was kind of wrapping this conversation up. Like, okay, well, yep, they're not going to hire you because he didn't say that. He was like, well, that's not how they hire. You would have to have more experience. Go to one of these smaller companies, get your feet wet, and then yeah, okay, cool. Like, but he was sending me on my way. Like, that was his objective. His objective in that conversation wasn't to like help a girl out. But at the same time, they did stop and talk to me, so I appreciate that. Anyway, so when shooting your shot, if you have the chance, make sure you scope them out first. Find the friendly target. I don't mean that in like an attack way, but find the friendly face. Find the gatekeeper. Know how to go around the gatekeeper. Know how to redirect back to your goal, even if it gets off track. Because conversations, you can plan it out in your head, but they're gonna flow. Follow the flow. Also, steer the ship back to what you want. And don't be afraid to try, because the worst thing that can happen is you have a story that you can share on YouTube or Instagram, you know, and you can walk away knowing how to better approach it. So thanks for listening.